Oops, we broke it again. Thanks to Modern Horizons 3's Boggart, Trawler, and Fell the Profane, we're playing Mono Black Oops All Spells in Legacy. Let's go see it in action. This video is proudly sponsored by Card Market. I said we broke it again. I actually mean Magic Online user Medvedev, who took second place in a Legacy challenge with the Mono Black Oops All Spells list directly in front of you. So why is this list any better than the old list? Well, the idea is that you get to abuse Grief, you know, the card that everyone wants banned because it's so good, alongside Reanimate. Well, if you're playing Grief Reanimate, you might as well play Entomb. Okay, but before we get into any of this, some of you might be watching this video because you're interested in Oops All Spells. How does the deck work? So thanks to Modern Horizons 3, we gained an additional untapped lands in Boggart, Trawler, and then, where is it? Fell the Profane. We already had Agadeem's Awakening, so now we have 12 untapped black lands that we're able to use. And these aren't actually lands, they're spells first, which means that Balustrade Spy and Undercity Informer don't see them. So when you play these cards and you target yourself, you mill your entire library, including 4 copies of Narcomoeba, and then you play Dread Return right here on the Thassa's Oracle and win the game. Okay. Well, back to this Entomb thing. Why is this so good? Well, you can go find a Balustrade Spy and then cast or bring it into play with Reanimate and then mill your library. So now it's actually cheaper to win with Balustrade Spy, and that's pretty interesting. So not only is Grief good with Reanimate, Reanimate is also good with our primary combo, and I like that quite a bit. So we don't have to play green anymore for Force of Vigor or things like that, because we also have a sideboard juke of Goblin, Charbelcher plus Lion's Eye Diamond to avoid the graveyard altogether, which is pretty powerful. So we have better mana and we gain a sideboard juke that doesn't care about the graveyard at all. Really leveraging Grief in this video isn't just that though. We also have Culling the Weak. So the idea is that you evoke Grief, you discard a card from their hand, and then with the sacrifice trigger still on the stack, you cast Culling the Weak, which makes 4 black mana. That's pretty interesting. Do we have anything we want to play for 4 black mana? I don't know, Balustrade Spy? Or Undercity Informer plus the 1 mana to sacrifice it. So Grief is just the perfect card for today's deck list, and you've heard enough of me blabbering. Why don't we just head on into the first match and see it in action? I'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match number 1, we've won the die roll. Let's go. Exactly what Oops All Spells wants. This hand, though, stinks. We're going to send this back. Okay, so we have... If this was a Cabal Ritual, this would be a turn 1 win. But I think we're supposed to keep it anyway. We'll bottom the Culling the Weak. I don't know for certain, but I remember our opponent playing Reanimator strategies. So I think this game I'm going to just play a turn 1 copy of Undercity Informer. This way the combo can't be discarded. Undercity Informer. Pass the turn. The Lotus Petal. Summoner's Pact. Oh no. Apparently I was supposed to just mulligan for a turn 1 win. They find Elvish Spirit Guide. And it turns out we're just playing the mirror match. In the mirror you should target the opponent. Just funnier that way. It looks like they're playing an older build. It's good enough here, though. We have lost game number 1. Too slow. You probably don't need Pact of Negation. That said, I don't know if any of these other cards actually help us here. You could like board in Goblin Charbelcher because it's increased speed. Okay. We messed up by not having a turn 1 win in game 1. We cannot keep this. Oh no, if either of these Goblin Charbelchers could imprint, this is a turn 1 win, but they don't imprint to Chromox. Oh, that's brutal. We have to mulligan to 5. Hold on. So you bottom Narcomoeba. If this was a 6-card hand, this is a turn 1 win. because you could unmask yourself plus reanimate. Wait, no, I would still need another mana, actually. I think I'm supposed to go to 4. This hand doesn't have mana in it. Okay, so I'm going to keep this. I don't think it's very good, but it's what I'm going to do. Our opponent is also taking a mulligan to 4. Leyline of Sanctity. I will pass the turn holding Grief in my hand. Okay. So now if I draw a black mana, we have a win. They have land number 2. Pretty please deck, black mana. Nope. Pass the turn. They pass the turn as well. That is black mana. Alright, so we're going to play our land. And now we are going to Grief, Exiling Grief. Put the Evoke trigger on the stack second, and now we're going to Culling the Weak, sacrificing this Grief. Dark Ritual. Balustrade Spy. Target ourselves. 4 Narcomoebas will enter the battlefield. And now I'm going to cast Reanimate on the Thassa's Oracle. Okay, so we've stolen game number 2. Maybe I should have Feed the Swarm in the deck instead of the Belchers. Let's try this. Although we're on the draw, there's a good chance we just die without being able to interact with our opponent. So this is turn 1 Grief Scam, but I don't think that's good enough here. They mulligan to Leyline game 2. Send it back. This is a turn 1 win. Keep will get rid of the Culling the Weak. Our opponent has taken a mulligan to 4. Now down to 3. Turn 1 land. Okay. We can attempt to win the game. We'll play our land. Ouch. From Mox. Imprint, Culling the Weak. We'll play Dark Ritual. So you have Entomb plus Reanimate, so you can just go get a Spy. Or you can cast the Spy in your hand. I'm going to just cast the Spy in my hand. And the opponent concedes the match. We have won the Oopsell Spells Mirror Match in match number 1. How exciting. See you in match number 2. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. I wish we would have won the die roll because this is a turn 1 win with double protection. I'm into that. We will keep. We have to hope that our opponent doesn't have a turn 1 discard spell. Mountain. Okay. Aghanim's Awakening. We'll play that. And now we'll evoke Grief, exiling Entomb. So you click on the evoke trigger first, that way you discard. And then you can see what they're up to. They're on Painter. Take Red Elemental Blast. Culling the Weak, sacrificing the Grief. Now the evoke trigger resolves. And we'll play a Balustrade Spy. Target ourselves. Narcomoeba will trigger. And the opponent concedes. That is what I'm talking about. Alright, so Painter is a deck that plays 3 Mindbreak Trap in the board. We want to be prepared for that. So we want to leave in our Pact of Negation. I think we do want Goblin Charbelcher to help get around some of that sideboard hate, though, because it is typically a Leyline of the Void deck. We want these Lion's Eye Diamonds. I don't think we want the Leyline of Sanctities. We might want Feed the Swarm. If you're interested in doing all of this, I wonder if you're supposed to board out the Culling the Weak package, getting rid of Grief, or... No, that can't be right. Maybe you just do board out the packs because Grief is better. Also, like, they're a Pyroblast deck, so, like, do you really want to be, like, fighting with Pact of Negation? Board out the Entombs. Let's board out Reanimate, too. Because this way, you get to keep Culling the Weak in your deck when you're trying to cast Goblin Charbelcher. And I think that's what we want. Let's try this out. This is Grief into turn 1 Goblin Charbelcher. That is what I'm here for. Running hot, let's go. Ancient Tomb. Is this a turn 1 win, assuming that they don't have anything? I think it is. We will Grief, exiling, Feed the Swarm. That's annoying. Okay. So they're probably going to name Dark Ritual here. That card's not even in my hand. So you're just dead? They named Culling the weak. We'll take the Mindbreak Trap and then kill you. I'm pretty sure this card you get to look at my hand, right? No, you don't get to look at my hand. Okay. For some reason I thought you did. Dark Ritual. We will play Chrome Mox. My bad. Apologies to the opponent. I wasn't trying to make fun of you. It's just, for some reason with Disruptor Flu, I thought you did get to look at the hand. I thought it was also, what is it called? Sorcerer Spyglass? Is that it? But it is not. And now we're 2-0. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. We're on the draw again, and we've opened up a turn 1 protected win. We will keep. I don't know what our opponent is playing, but I wish I'd win some more die rolls if I'm going to draw this well. Hedge Maze, okay. Okay, you can win the die roll if you're willing to play tap lands. I will allow it. Oh, so it's now a double-backed turn 1 win. Big fan. Alright. So we will Grief, exiling Fell the Profane. Let's discard a card from their hand. Oh, I love making Cephalid Breakfast lose. I hate this deck so much. Culling the weak, sacrificing the Grief. This is what you get. Entomb. And now we'll go search out the Balustrade Spy. And now we're going to reanimate the Spy. Turn 1 through Force of Will. I mean, they could have had double Force of Will and they still would have lost here. Sweet. That's what you get. I don't think we're supposed to sideboard at all. I'm just going to resubmit. Cephalid Breakfast is not a deck that traditionally plays sideboard hate, like Leyline of the Void or anything like that, so let's just try to run this back. When you run hot, you run hot. This is another turn 1 protected win. Keep. Holy moly. This deck feels pretty good. Blooded Strand for a Tundra. Ponder. They shuffled very fast on that Ponder. We draw another Agadeem's Awakening. We'll play the land. And now I will Grief, exiling Entomb. They Force of Will, exiling Narcomoeba. So if I go all in right now, I lose to Daze. That said, if I pass, I start losing to Flusterstorm and Orm's Chant and everything else. So I think I'm actually going to just go for it here. Dark Ritual. Balustrade Spy. Target myself. Narcomoeba triggers. What do you have, opponent? Surgical Extraction on Narcomoeba. Okay, you got me. Next game. Oh, I guess I could have Cabal Therapied them instead of conceding. Do I want the Belchers? Like, I feel like they play like 1 or 2 Surgical Extractions. Like, I don't know. I'm just going to resubmit, I think. Game number 3, we're on the play. So, we can Grief Scan them, but I'm pretty far away from winning after that. I think it's the move, though. We'll keep. So I can go Grief, exile, unmask, and then try to reanimate the Grief. And then next turn I have Dark Ritual, Undercity Informer. No, I'm short a blue card for that play. Or I'm sorry, a black card to imprint a Chrome Mox. I think we just start on the Grief. They mulligan to 6. I could also just play Undercity Informer. Chrome Mox. Imprint, reanimate. Dark Ritual. Undercity Informer. Okay, so next turn I have the win with Pact of Negation backup. They have a first turn Shuko. We drew a land, we'll play it. This allows me to play around Daze here. We'll target ourselves with the Undercity Informer, sacrificing it to itself. Narcomoeba will now trigger. Surgical Extraction again. This time we have Pact of Negation. I mean, our opponent opened up both post-board games on Force of Will plus Surgical. That's pretty good. Let's Cabal Therapy them. We'll say Force of Negation for some reason. And they just concede. I'm good with that too. We are now 3-0, 2 matches left to go. you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Look at that, we've won another die roll. On the play for match number 4. This is not a turn 1 win. I think you're supposed to mulligan this. Like, you do have Grief, but you have 2 total mana, and that's it. I think we can do better. This is a really slow win. We'll go to 5. This, I think, is actually very reasonable. Wait, this is a turn 1. Assuming our opponent doesn't have anything. Put Culling the Weak on the bottom, and a land? No, hold on. Is it better to keep the extra... Let's get rid of the Entomb thing. Is it better for me to just go turn 1 Undercity Informer? Because if they force it, I then have Reanimate on turn 2. So this is more resilient. I think we keep this. We'll play Agadeem's Awakening. Ouch. Dark Ritual. Undercity Informer. So it turns out that they hit the F6 key. So keeping the turn 1 win would have been better. But if they were on a blue deck, this plays better. So maybe I should have just peanut buttered and jammed. But we'll see how it plays out. And the opponent concedes. Sweet. Big fan. Big fan of the concession. Let's bring in Goblin Charbelcher. Maybe we'll do... I think that means that they're not on a blue deck. So maybe we'll do the hybrid plan we did before, where we board in Belcher, but maybe not all this additional stuff. Get rid of the Entombs. Like this. This is what I would call the hybrid plan. You still have Grief plus Reanimate. You have the Belcher plan. Like, this is still very combo focused, but you're able to pivot a little bit. Game number 2. This is a turn 1 win. Assuming our opponent doesn't do anything, you unmask yourself for Balustrade Spy into Reanimate. Let's try it. Well, looks like we're going for the Goblin Charbelcher plan now. Cloud Post. Okay. Maybe we'll be able to reanimate a big Eldrazi of theirs. Stop drawing Narcomoebas. Alright, let's unmask. Target them. Exile Balustrade Spy. This creature's only if you kick it. Kind of unfortunate. I think we need to take the creature. We'll just play our land. Pass the turn. I don't feel like reanimating this creature is that impactful. They have a turn 2 Glimmer Post, so now they have 3 total mana. Okay, another land isn't the worst. That puts us 1 mana away, so Chrome Mox just became a really good draw for us. Another Glimmer Post, so now they have 4 mana. They're able to play the One Ring. You got it. Come on, Chrome Mox, Lotus Petal. Another Reanimate. We'll play the land. Let's try to reanimate their creature, I guess. If we have 2 of them, it feels kind of free. They draw with the One Ring. They still have Forest and Crop Rotation in hand as well. They draw 2 more cards. They play the Forest. And now they're going to kick the Sowing Mycospawn. Alright, we can go to the next game. We've lost this one. Okay, so we want Feed the Swarm. Let's get rid of the Reanimates. Try this out. Game 3 on the play. I don't think so. Mulligan. This is very good. Keep. Get rid of Agadeem's Awakening. Like, this is just a turn 1 Belcher win, right? Opponent with a mulligan to 5. Leyline of the Void. Alright, we'll play our first turn Boggart Trawler as a land. Chrome Mox. We need no Force of Vigor here. Dark Ritual. Lion's Eye Diamond. Goblin Charbelcher. Pew pew! Wow 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 wow! We just became 4-0. Alright, stick around and watch us play for the trophy in match number 5. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? For the trophy, match number 5, we're on the play, and we're facing Roodslay, who tends to play a lot of Reanimator. Okay, so this hand doesn't really do the thing. We're going to mulligan. This doesn't do it either. Send it back. Looking for 5 here. Good 5. This Calling the week is really awkward. Like, there's been a couple times so far this league where I've wished it's been a Cabal Ritual. I think I'm supposed to go to 4. We will keep. Maybe I can reanimate their Gristlebrand or something. We'll put some cards on the bottom. Okay. We'll play Grief, exile, fell the Profane. Oh, I will definitely take an Archon of Cruelty, thank you. Is that good? Is that good? Is that what we want to be doing here? Who's the Reanimator deck now? I am the captain now. We draw a Lotus Petal. Let's play that. Pass the turn. We draw a Balustrade Spy. Not a bad one. We'll attack. Trigger the Archon of Cruelty. We draw Narcomoeba. Not what we wanted. I'm actually going to play out Narcomoeba, which seems crazy. But if our opponent for some reason is able to put another Archon of Cruelty into play, it protects me. Alright, we are 1 game away from a 5-0 trophy. Let's go. I believe we want Leyline of Sanctity. I don't believe we need Pact of Negation. We can bring in like 1 Goblin Charbelcher. Let's try this. This hand is terrible. We will send it back. This is a turn 1 win, assuming we're not discarded. That's a big assumption, but we will keep it and put a Culling the Week on the bottom. Basic Swamp. Dark Ritual. Entomb. Okay. Sire of Insanity. So I could concede here. The thing is, my deck is playing for Reanimate. So if I draw black land into Reanimate, we win the game. So I'm not going to concede. Chromox is a do-nothing here. We will pass the turn. They draw a Lotus Petal, we'll take 6. Black land plus Reanimate in that order. Unmask is a terrible draw, we will pass. We're running out of time. We need to draw that black land right now. Nope, okay. Game 3 coming right up. The final game of this league. I'm going to choose to resubmit. For the marbles, we're on the play. Oh no. So if we had another... Actually, hold on. Double Narcomoeba, I think, stops me here. We should mulligan. This hand is so close, but the double Narcomoeba is getting in the way. This hand doesn't do it. We have to go to 5. Ugh, come on, deck. Am I really going to 4? Calling the Week has been very hot or cold. I think I have to go to 4. Our opponent kept 7, too. We're going to 4. Keep. So, once again, we need to not be discarded on the first turn. Hold on. I wonder if keeping the Informer is better than keeping second Entomb. It's gotta be, right? Okay. Play our land. Pass the turn. Dark Ritual. Dauthi Voidwalker. Ugh, that's not good. There is a avenue here. It's just very difficult. So we're going to entomb the Thassa's Oracle to the graveyard. So how we win this is we draw Dark Ritual. We play the Undercity Informer. Okay, well that just went right out the window. If they're smart, they'll take the Informer and then they can deck me. They do take the Informer. Pass the turn. So they should activate Dauthi Voidwalker, play the Informer, and then deck me. It looks like that's what they're going to do. They play the Informer. You've got it. So we unfortunately are not going to get the trophy this league. We were so close. So close, but ultimately we failed. They're going to Thoughtseize me again just to make sure. Yeah. What a bummer. We mulliganed as hard as we could in Game 3, but none of the hands were actually playable. 4-1 is still a really good record. It's hard to be upset about that, but we did not get the trophy. This deck is very good. The number of turn 1 wins we had backed by protection was insanely high. I was quite impressed. So I would recommend this deck list to anyone. It's, you know, pretty good. I don't know if you need the Lion's Eye Diamonds in the sideboard. You might be able to get away with something else and lower the cost of the deck by quite a lot. The deck is like, I want to say it was like $3,000, with most of that just being Lion's Eye Diamond. So if you get rid of those, I believe the deck is like $500 or $600. So if you're looking for a budget deck, this deck felt amazing. So thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, and as always, keep storming. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. After you do that, open up our description where you can find all of our social media networks, including our Discord, where you can discuss today's deck in that Discord with me and tons of other combo masterminds. It's absolutely free to join, and it's certainly worth your while.